Okay, Cossack Crazies. We are one day removed from a Sodak 16 championship to advance to the softball Class A state tournament. And I wanted to play this before I come on the screen because, well, it's a pretty big moment. And this is how it sounded. Top of the order, Cassidy Smith. The lefty will step in, Cass, the MVP of the Big East Conference Tournament Championship. Will come up to the plate in the bottom of the seventh with a runner in scoring position. If it gets to the grass, this might be it. Guys, we're going to head to extras. Cass asking for a little time as she digs in. We'll send that straight back. One down. Cassidy Smith. Nasty digging back in there. One down the count. That'll be too low. 1-1. 2 outs here. Bottom of the seventh. Cassidy's got a shot to walk it off here. And that'll be a line drive to left center field. And that's going to do it. Abby is going to score. And that is going to be a victory for the Sioux Valley Cossacks as they win in walk-off fashion. Sioux Valley Cossacks, we're going to a state tournament. 12-11 your final. Cassidy Smith delivers with Abby Axtell on first. 1 second. A come-from-behind victory in the 7th inning. A 2-run blast by Savannah Guthmiller ties it. And with Abby Axtell on second base, Cassidy Smith delivers with a line drive to left center field. And that brings Axtell around a 12-11 winner. Yes, it sure was. So, on this field behind us, everybody, history made for the Sioux Valley Cossacks as softball team punches their ticket to the Class A state tournament next weekend up in Aberdeen. Now, this is the start of a Salzy show. This is this is the coach's show officially, I guess. We'll probably do a Salzy show tomorrow where I crab about the Twins, I crab about the T-Wolves and the disgusting Minnesota sports that are out there. Celebrate the ladies as we always do with the WNBA. The Lynx are still undefeated. The Frost, the WPWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, the Frost repeat as the PWHL champions. So they win the first 2 in that league. And, if you want to be a Minnesota sports fan, you better start following the ladies because those are the ones that keep winning it. As the T-Wolves are on the brink of getting tossed out of the NBA playoffs. The Twins have had a couple of tough days down in Tampa. I think they've split the first 2. I think they're playing right now in game 3 of that. They'll have tomorrow off, and then they'll go out to Seattle for the weekend. Still battling with that second place, third place area in the AL Central. But for today, we'll save all the Salzy talk, all the national talk for probably tomorrow's show on the Salzy Show, as this is the scene, and it is freshly drug. There was just a tractor back here with a drag behind it, clearing it all off. The girls are supposed to be here in a bit as they have practice at 4 o'clock today. I told the head coach, Tatum Sonnenberg, that I would try to get here around 3-ish. I'm a little bit earlier than that. But what a day yesterday for a softball team that now starts a legacy. It is, as we talked about in the girls basketball season out in Spearfish, this is Bill Vincent and myself calling the games out there from this Class A basketball tournament. The state tournament's where you want to go. That's the goal for every team out there. Let's go to state. Let's compete for a championship. It has to start somewhere. Dubrook was one of the stories we were mentioning in that girls basketball season. They've been playing girls basketball there for decades. This was their first trip to the state tournament. I mentioned to Bill Vincent that that's the goal. You want to get to that postseason. You want to get through region play. You want to get through that Sodak 16 and punch your ticket, and then give yourself an opportunity in those 3 games. It's, in my eyes, a program builder. Now, Sioux Valley softball is a little different because it is so young. This is only year number 2 of Sioux Valley softball. Last year at this field, it was a Sodex 16. It ends in heartbreaking fashion as Elk Point Jefferson came here and got the win for us on our home field. So you take that into the off season, through the summertime. You have that mentality somewhere in the back of your head through a volleyball season, through cross country, through track. Well, maybe not track, but through basketball. And you take that feeling with you, knowing how it felt, knowing that disappointment, knowing that you could have played better. You could have done this more. You could have done a little bit different here and played just a little bit sharper there. And you take that with you. It's what makes you better as an athlete, as a student athlete. Same goes in, the academic side of things. I could have studied more. I could have took more notes. I could have read that chapter a little bit more. Athletes do the same thing. So this team from last year takes that lesson and they bring it through this season. They were absolutely incredible all season long. The win yesterday gave them a 16-5 record for the season, and that was a pretty good Lennox team. The record didn't show up for Lennox, but the teams that they played, the competition that they played all season long, they are littered all over the Class B state tournament, the Class A state tournament, and those Sodex 16 matchups that were all across the state yesterday. Lennox played a lot of them and came up on the wrong side of a lot of them, but Lennox showed by jumping out to a 7-0 lead in the second inning yesterday, and Sioux Valley had to prove it to themselves. Instead of getting down on each other and getting down on themselves and just throwing in the towel, it was one hit after another. A couple runs here, a couple runs there, a couple runs here, and finally, even going down 11-9 in the top of the seventh as Lennox put a couple more across. And that's one of those moments where some of those kids could be like, I don't know what we're going to do. That's not what Sioux Valley did. It was, who was on? It was McKinley Schwab that started the inning. She has the leadoff double. That was her 4th hit of the day. That's an 8th grader getting 4 hits on a Sodax 16 day. Sixer, Mick, Smoke, if you will, has a pretty good day on the mound as well. But 3 singles and then that double that bounced off the top of the fence. Otherwise, that would have left the yard. So she's sitting on second base. Savannah Guthmiller, the senior, one of the seniors, her and Ella. Savannah comes up, and I don't remember the count. We can go through the video again. But she comes up and tattoos a ball that goes out straight center. That ties it at 11, man. And there's a couple of outs that happen after that. It's Abby Axtell that gets a single. I think it was an infield single, if I remember right. Slow roller. She ran it out, gets to first. Then she gets to second on Ella Jacobson's grounder. So Ella hits a grounder to second base. Abby Axtell races down to second. The only play was to first. So that became out number 2. So 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 11. And that's when you heard the call right there. Cassidy Smith, the left-hander, comes up and drills a line drive to left center field, and Abby Axtell comes around and they score. They win it just like that, 12-11, and that's a Sodex 16 historic win for the Sioux Valley Cossacks, and just amazing. The resilience that they showed, perseverance, getting through this, getting through a tough doubleheader loss in Clear Lake. Maybe, what is that, a month and a half ago? Some sketchy weather up there, too, as we had a rainstorm go through. They had Duel on the ropes in game 1. Duel walks it off, and then it just got out of hand for game number 2. And then they really didn't lose much more after that. I don't know if they did lose any more after that. They really came back home, took care of business. There was some rainouts, some cancellations, especially through graduation weekend. Other teams were not willing to get their softball girls on the road during graduation weekend, so some cancellations there, some rain postponements. They had to go through a stretch of 10 days, a stretch of 13 days in between games, and just nothing fazed this team in the last month of the season after that tough doubleheader loss at Clear Lake to the Dual Cardinals. The Dual Cardinals, by the way, go on to become the number 1 seed in Class B. We'll go through a little bit of that here in a little bit, but they had the Dual Cardinals on the ropes, and it was a walk-off winner by the Dual Cardinals in game number 1. And then game number 2, they just kind of just kind of did what they do, as Duel has been crushing a lot of teams this season. So a great win yesterday by the Sioux Valley Cossack softball team. I'm still kind of awaiting where everyone might be at. I mean, I know I'm here early, but sent some text out for Toby. Toby, you can see the volleyball shirt again today. My softball state shirt is on order, so don't worry. We're taking care of the apparel problems that we're having around here. I don't have a softball shirt. By the time we got back from Spearfish, the softball closed, or the softball apparel shop had closed on Facebook. So I ran out of time and didn't see it in time. Maybe that's the best way to put it. So I'm just looking through my scorebook here. It was a BEC tourney championship. Take care of Howard. Take care of Chester. Chester ended up losing yesterday in the Sodex 16. Who did take Chester out? It was now I don't remember. Chester ended up losing. Vermilion. Vermilion went to Beersford and took Beersford out. That was the championship matchup in that BEC tourney championship. It was a 2-0 winner for the Sioux Valley Cossacks, getting 15-5. They ended up a 5 seed going into the Sodex 16. Chester ended up losing at home yesterday, and that's a tough one. Vermilion goes to Beersford, the same field that we just played on Saturday afternoon. Vermilion goes to Beersford, gets the win there. Vermilion becomes the 8th seed in Class A. Sioux Valley's going to stay at the 5. Our game officially, I guess we can go through this now. Del Rapids, the Couriers. It's a 4-5 matchup. Del's the 4, Sioux Valley the 5. That'll be a noon game next Thursday, so a week from tomorrow, up in Aberdeen, as we compete in the Class A state tournament. And see how that goes. The number 1 seed, West Central, the Trojans, they'll play number 8 Vermilion. That's the first game of the day. Tri-Valley, the 2 seed, they'll play Elk Point Jefferson. And then the 3-6 matchup, Dakota Valley, the 3, and the Madison Bulldogs, the 6 seed. And that's how the Class A state tournament's going to shape up. And it all starts up next Thursday. But what a win yesterday by these Sioux Valley girls. Just absolutely incredible. Great fans here, by the way. Fans everywhere around the field. I was surrounded by fans in the bleachers as well. That was really cool, having a lot of voices go through the microphones. It was a lot of fun. But wrapped all the way around that left field fence, there was a lot of people, wrapped around this right field fence over here, including the bleachers that are right over there. Absolutely amazing. So a great turnout, all in support. The Cossack Crazies out in full force for that Sioux Valley softball team. Some other teams that have been competing this week, we got to say congratulations to a baseball team. Although their season did end on Monday morning on Memorial Day, it was a tough loss to the Del Rapids Couriers, and that was the Class B baseball state tournament. A tough loss for our Sioux Valley Cossacks, but they got there. Speaking of, program builders, it's another notch in the storied post of the 2024-2025 campaign for the Sioux Valley Cossacks, as only one team has not gone to that state tournament now. If you played for any of the girls' sports during this season, you went to a state tournament, and that's absolutely amazing. Cross country goes, volleyball goes, basketball goes, and just in the last few weeks here, a couple weeks, there is the track and field guys that are getting ready for the Howard Wood state track meet down in Sioux Falls this weekend. That'll be Thursday, starting tomorrow. Plenty of athletes there on the girls' side. It's a girls' golf team that has a Monday-Tuesday affair down in Madison. And oh, by the way, they rescheduled a postponement from the regular season. So there was a golf tournament, several teams in Madison yesterday. So the Sioux Valley girls are going to play there on Monday and Tuesday for the state tournament down on the Madison Country Club. Got a preview of what the course looks like, feels like, what the greens feel like, where to go, where to hit it, where to not go, where to not hit it, stay out of this water, stay out of this trap. What a great thing to do. So thank you to the Madison High School for putting that back together and getting it back on the books, and it allowed the 5 girls from Sioux Valley who have made it to the Class A golf tournament And I do have some times for you here on Monday. So this is all in the morning, and they're all right next to each other as far as their pairings go. Abigail Deegan is going to go off at 8:50 in the morning. That's the Madison Country Club. Macy Top will go off at 9 a.m. Taylor Bastian, is that how I say that? I feel like that's not how I say that, and I'm sorry, Taylor, that I got your name wrong. But Taylor is the 9:10 start. Lily Noble, she'll be at 9:20, and then at 9:30, the 6-foot point guard, Kira Cruz, going to another state tournament in her senior year. Congrats to Kira Cruz and the rest of the golfers. That'll be Monday morning for those times. It's a 2-day tournament, Monday, the June 2nd, and Tuesday, June 3rd. Congrats to a golf team that has now punched their ticket and is readying themselves and hopefully got a good preview of the Madison Country Club just yesterday as they had another tournament down there. The softball team that I've been yapping about for the good, 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, I've been yapping about them. Right here yesterday, they punched their ticket with a 12-11 victory over the Lennox Orioles and advanced to the Class A state tournament in Aberdeen. It's not bad mojo anymore because we've actually punched our ticket and gotten ourselves there. But I've had hotels in Aberdeen for about a month, and they do have. I can cancel them until Tuesday the 3rd and not be charged for anything, and then they can put it back into their circulation if someone else needs it. So I've had those hotel rooms for a month, just hoping that we would go to Aberdeen. I've also taken Thursday off next week from Bell Brands, my regular employer, on the idea that if they go, I'm going to have to get out of work on that Thursday because next weekend is my weekend off, which is just fantastic. So I'm keeping all of it now. I get to keep the hotel reservations, keep the vacation for next Thursday. With a noon start next Thursday, my plan is take off early Thursday morning, 2-hour drive up to Aberdeen, and get settled in for a noon affair, the 4-5 matchup against the Del Rapids Couriers. It's going to be fun. And if you look, and I can look for you, I guess, these are some good teams that are in this Class A state tournament. And that's the way it should be. When you get to this level, you get to this part of the season, there's only 8 teams left. It should be the best of the best. And in Class A, there's some good records that are coming into this tournament. Let me open this up quick and see if I can't get you where I want us to go. Just want to get this record. We should do it on Game Changer. That might be easier. Golf, no, softball, learn more. There we go. I do have a coach here. Tatum Sonnenberg wandering up. Fantastic. I'm just trying to bring up the brackets and scores. Trying to get some record. You can't see Tatum yet, but she brought a very large trophy with her. We're going to show that off today. It's going to be fantastic. Let's get you on a microphone, Tatum. And we'll go through some of these records. We're going to bring in the head coach, Tatum Sonnenberg. Now, I found a way, okay? So I've been working on this for a couple of months. We have an amplifier and have the ability to have 4 microphones going at the same time. So I'm going to turn some noise on for you, okay? Can you hear me at all over there? And I can hear you. We're going to turn your mic all the way up. How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
You can hear, I can hear you. Hopefully they can hear that. So, congratulations on a fantastic win yesterday. We had a little post-game conversation as well at the top of the bleachers, all sorts of fun.
Yeah.
Your players who came up to visit me did not fall down. That was metal cleats on metal bleachers.
I heard it. I rewatched it last night. I was curious what they were saying and if they said anything about any of the things I told them. And then I heard the
clickety clack, clickety clack.
Down
yeah.
Yep.
Everyone made it up. Everyone made it down.
Good.
No problems there. A couple of pitchers were out here doing cartwheels, so I feel like I wasn't the only one putting them in danger. They did it themselves.
Yeah, I was standing there, and then all of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, I was like, "What is going on?" And then it was like just down the sideline. I also had to laugh because I don't know if anyone caught it, but the very beginning of the game, right after they announced everybody out, we did whatever. I had 2 girls do a cartwheel in left field also right before the game started, so I don't know if you want to go back and rewatch that.
Well, I'm
But
going to have to now.
yeah,
Yeah, I did
I
not
don't know.
notice that.
Yep, I didn't either. I was sitting down and I was like, they just did cartwheels out there. What in the world is happening? But Zoe Hemstead was one of them, and she cheers for Wildfire, so I'm not surprised. After the Big East win, I don't know if you also caught that, but she did a backflip on the field
I
after the
did
Big
not see
East
that either. I
tournament.
got some things to
So
go
you
back and
might
look
have to
at.
go back and rewatch that one too.
That's
But
fantastic.
yeah.
Well, that means they were loose. They were ready.
Oh
They
yeah.
were in their right minds, I guess
Yeah.
you want to say it that way. But
Mhm.
we talked about it a little bit yesterday. The post game, it was a 7-0 deficit to start. Basically, start of the third inning, you're down 7-0, but it's a kick and a scratch and a claw. A little bit here, a couple home runs there. You get back to tied, and then Lennox puts 2 runs on at the top of seventh. So yeah, there's going to be some breeze here. It's going to happen. I can't do anything. I learned it from the bleachers as well. I don't know where this gust of wind is coming from, but here it is. You're down 11-9. You have to tell your team something as they're coming to the dugout in the bottom of the seventh. Your last at bat, Sodak 16
Yep.
at home. A huge crowd here, by the way, too.
Yeah.
What do you tell your squad right there?
I mean, I just to trust each other, trust your hands, get in the box. I mean, it took more than one run to get us back in it, and
Yep.
so knowing that going into the batter's box, you can't solve the problem by yourself.
Right.
It takes more than one person to do that, and not one solo shot was going to win the game for us. And so, just having that confidence that someone else is either going to get on or get a hit after you. And so, um, something I was always told as a player was on, over, in. Someone's going to get on, someone's going to get you over, and then someone's going to get you in.
Oh,
So you
yeah,
have to do
I
a
like that.
job before you can get yourself you can get in, and that's what they did. They got someone on, and Vanna got it over the fence and got some couple in, and then again just did the cycle again, on, over, and in.
Yeah, it's McKinley Schwab that starts the bottom of the seventh with a double that bounces off the fence line up there.
Yeah.
Is that right center field? I remember.
Yep.
She goes off the top of the fence, gets to second. It's Vanna that comes up right after that.
Yeah.
The blast to straight center ties it up. And then we've got Audrey comes up. We get Abby Axtell with an infield single. Ella, the other senior, gives her job. A ground ball gets Abby to second base.
Yeah.
And that sets up Casty Smith coming to the plate.
Starts it all over again.
Line drive to left center, and it's over. And
Yeah.
then there was a Gatorade bath after that.
Yeah.
Not long after that.
It was after the game. It gets chilly. I don't know if anyone realizes, but once it gets later in the day like that,
Yep.
and then it gets a little bit like darker. It gets a little bit more eerie, especially at this time of year where it's like kind of still a little outside. I was cold, and then
I would
when
imagine.
I came up to the top of the bleachers to meet you yesterday, I was like, the wind up there is way different than on the field.
Yeah.
So then I'm like soaking my shirt, and I'm sitting in the cold. I was like, oh, okay, good thing no one can see me. So
Well, it was a fun moment, though.
Oh, yeah,
Certainly a historic moment for Sioux Valley. I was talking at the beginning of the show. Something that Bill Vitz and I talked about when we went out to Spearfish with the girls basketball team was, being the last 8 teams still playing at the end of the season is everyone's goal. Obviously, you want to play for a championship too, but
right.
if you are not, you're still one of the last 8.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it's a program builder type of situation. We brought up the situation with Dubrook. That was their first time ever getting to a girls basketball state tournament. Yeah. This is the softball team's first trip. I mean, only in year 2 at the same time, but this is a builder, I think, in my opinion. When you talk about some of the younger levels that are coming up, this is what they could see yesterday.
Yeah.
Might be some, that's where I want to go. This is my goal.
That was a conversation that us coaches were having too late last night, that none of us could sleep because we were all so excited and just messaging, and you're like, this sets the tone, and it shows them that anybody can come in and play this game. But it takes a true team to pull yourselves through. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but there was a young group of girls playing behind us too. Those younger, I think they might have been like a U8 or U10 team. But
yeah, like right after we got done, right?
Yeah, setting the tone. Like they get to come and see like us rally back, and to see our team dynamic, and hopefully one day want to play for Sioux Valley. And us coaches were just talking about that this is setting the tone, and it's kind of paving the way for the future of softball at Sioux Valley, and that's all we can hope for, is that this is kind of the start.
Yeah, program builder. There we go. This is the goal every year. This is what every team starts at the beginning of the season of, hey, we want to get to a state tournament, see if we can't play for a championship, and we get that opportunity.
Yeah, I know Abby brought it up yesterday when you were talking to her. We've talked a lot about this year. Like, we have little goals that get us to big goals, and and our little goals were winning each day, winning each game, and
Right.
we slowly started doing that when we were at the Big East tournament, and I said you have to win each game before you can get to the championship. You win the championship, and you move on, obviously. And so we just talked about, winning those little goals before you get the major goal. And we got our goal. We got to state. Now we have new goals where we're going to, set that tone for each day. We're going to win practice every day we come
Yeah.
in and set up for a long week.
We do have practice here at 4 o'clock
Yes.
today. I don't even know what time it is right now.
It's like
Is it
something.
3:15 ish? So yeah, about 45 minutes from now.
Yep.
The reason I brought 4 microphones over is just if someone wants to have a quick 5-minute conversation before we can put 3 girls on the microphones and see how it goes. But for you again yesterday, we've talked about some of these names. Zoe Hemestead had a great day yesterday. That's 2 singles, a walk. She scores twice.
Yeah.
Cam Eaker with a single shot. Abby Axtell has got a 2-run shot somewhere in there. Yeah, in the second inning. There we go. Savannah Guthmiller, but it was McKinley Schwab who was pitching. Now, this is your 8th grader as the starting pitcher in a SOTA X16 matchup. Is there any special message you have to give someone as an 8th grader to start that? Or is it kind of the thing where she's young enough where you don't have to put anything else on her? She's just going to go out there and keep throwing.
Yeah, she's always been that way where she knows her role. She's played a lot of years. I know that it doesn't seem like a lot when you talk about her only being an 8th grader, but I've said this before. She's played on upper level teams all throughout the state of South Dakota, and even this coming summer she'll be on a 16 and under team.
Okay.
And she's only a 14-year-old, so I mean she's competing with the same age of girls that you're seeing play every single day across the state in high school softball, and so she knows the caliber that she's up against. She puts herself in those situations every day, so it's not, you don't have to ever remind her where she's at. She just, sometimes we just have to settle in and remember that we're only in control of what we're doing on our team, and then she's home free, ready to go. She's got a lot of spunk behind her, like you were saying. She said something about being called spark plug, and she does. When she goes, she's nonstop, and she fell a little bit in the beginning, and just reminded her, we have to play this as a team. You can't carry it on your back. You have to trust that there's people behind you, and slowly but surely we started to do that, and our defense started to have her back. So
yeah, sure did. There was a lot of runs that came across, but I mean, it seemed like she really shut down that Lennox offense starting in the 3rd inning. They'd gotten to 7-0, and that's when the strikeouts start showing up.
Yeah.
And the defense at the same time. There was a lot of good plays out there. Axtell makes the play on third base line. She dives for a line drive and gets the out just like that. Probably stopped a double from happening. It was one thing after another yesterday, and everybody contributes. It was fantastic, and I'll just say congrats again. Next Thursday noon game, it's the Del Rapids Couriers. You'll have a few days here to prepare for Del Rapids, but I was going through and trying to find some records of everyone here. West Central, the 1 seed, they're 18-3 on their season. Del Rapids 11-3 on their season. Sioux Valley 16-5 on their season, and then the other top seeds, Tri Valley 12-2, and then Dakota Valley 15-5. Some pretty good squads here, but at a state tournament, that's expected. I don't know if you've seen any of these teams. Is there anything you've seen on these guys?
Not really.
Do you know any of the other coaches on some of those other squads? What do you know about these guys?
I know a little bit about West Central just from conversations. I mean, they're a solid team. They do play a lot of those AA schools. They're very good contenders in all of the sports that they play. And but other than that, we're kind of blind going in. And to be honest with you, I think our team does better knowing what we're doing versus what the other team is doing. And so we really are just focusing on what our team can do to score and what our team can do to put outs on the field. And so not knowing is almost better for these girls, just so that they can, they're focusing on themselves as a team and not what someone else is doing, because we always say control the controllables, and you can only control what you're doing. And so not knowing anything about them sometimes is a better mindset for our girls, just to focus on the little things that they're doing.
That reminds me of a volleyball mentality. And it was about halfway through that volleyball season where they started to realize that they are pretty talented, which they knew, but they started beating teams handily, and it became, let's not worry about what they're going to do. They have to play us now, and maybe that's the mindset that we take into next Thursday and just see how that goes.
And I've said too all along, with the versatility that this team has, and the ability to put virtually anybody anywhere kind of throws other teams off when they're maybe preparing for what they saw against Lennox, and we won't probably come out looking the same.
Right.
And that's like the glory of all of it. It's anyone can have a good day as long as you're mentally prepared for it when you come in for yourself and for your team.
Well, we'll be ready in a week.
Yeah.
A week from tomorrow.
Yep.
Noon game is the first one, and it's one game every day, right? Play
Yes.
one on Thursday, one on Friday, one on Saturday.
Yep.
Whether you're in the winner's bracket or loser's bracket,
Yep.
depends on how you do. But
yeah, so for sure Thursday we'll play at noon, and then Friday, depending on how that goes,
Yeah.
it would be I think it's like the 10 or noon game again, something like that. And
yeah,
then
well, we'll
the
see.
third day really depends. I mean, that just all
Yeah.
falls in, but yeah, Del
We'll worry
Rapids
about Dells
win.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's worry about that one.
Little
first.
goals, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Getting to practice on time today. Hopefully, some of them are getting
Yeah.
ready inside.
Well, I
They'll
mean,
be out here shortly.
I was out here way too early, so we'll give them a little bit of a break. We're coming up on what 3:20ish, yeah, somewhere around there. Your other thoughts from the season now? It was long. It was a couple of breaks in there, 10 days, 13 days because of weather, because of cancellations. Yeah. It starts all the way back in the end of March with an indoor tournament at Dort that did not go our way. A couple of losses that day, but I think it was Dubrook the next game up. We went up to Toronto and played up there and kind of took off from there.
Yeah, and we've said all year, if we went back and replayed that first week of games, it would look very different from where we're at now. And I think that we needed those to kind of reset us and to know that we can't just walk into a game and expect to win. We have to walk into a game and do some work. And so it was a journey. That first week was very very stressful and very something that I don't wish on anybody. When you walk into the season, you don't want to lose your first 3 games, but we did, and ever since then we've turned it around. I think the only other 2 losses, what was that?
It was a doubleheader in Clear Lake.
Yeah,
and
they're seeded number 1 and B, and they're right in that as well. And so, I mean, we come out and we beat some big teams later in the season, and that really boosted our confidence too. And so, yeah, that first week, if we could replay it, it would look a lot different. And I think every coach would say that for any loss.
Well, I mean, it's losses in the opening weekend to a couple of teams that were just in the Sodex 16. Yeah. Beresford, one of those. Flandre, one of those. And it's the way it goes. I mean, you just kind of mentioned it there. It's a reset that happens after that. The mentality of refocusing and focusing on the work. That's what happened. And it seems like it turns out pretty well in the end here.
I have a lot of little weird sayings. I feel like I keep saying them all, but I kept telling them too. It's like, it's not what happens at the beginning. It's not what happens in the middle. It's what happens at the end that really matters, and how you finish a game and how we're finishing our season. And it's held true. So hopefully I've learned something in my years of playing, in my years of going through different coaches to give these girls what I've always had. So
talk about your assistant coaches. They are huge helpers for you. Tess, Clarissa.
Yeah,
I got those right. Carissa.
Yeah, Carissa and Tess.
Carissa and Tess, not Clarissa.
So Carissa is also a teacher here at Sioux Valley, and she from day one was like, I want to work with you. I want to do whatever it is that we need to do to be successful. And she also coached volleyball, so I kind of already knew how she coached, and I was like, we're going to be a great team from the get-go. And so when we both got hired, it was okay, let's figure this thing out and do it the right way. And from day one, she has been a rock. She's helping these girls more than just on the field. She's helping them, academically. She's helping them mentally, and she's just helping me stay clear and focused on what my expectations should be. Yes, exactly, sane. And then Tess Pansky, she is a Brookings graduate. She's fresh out of the gate of playing. She's fresh where these girls were just at 2 years ago, and so she has played a lot of years as well with Brookings Outlaws and then Brookings High School, and she has a lot of knowledge, and it just keeps growing. And I'm really sad to say this out loud, but next year, Coach Eggman, Carissa, is not coming back to Sioux Valley as the assistant coach, but she said, I'll be back as a volunteer at some point. So we're kind of in that limbo right now of what the next season looks like. I know I'm coming back, and I know that Tess is planning to come back, but without that rock there, it's going to be different. But it's the ability of these girls, they have it all, and if we can just put together a good group of coaching staff and keep this momentum going, and it's going to set us up for a lot of success.
It happens all the time. Coaches in and out from time to time. You have a group of seniors that you say goodbye to. We're not going to do that now. We're going to wait until next weekend, probably that Saturday, and celebrate the two the way we should. But we just talked about, the future
Yeah.
and a program builder. There's a very good young group of girls
Yeah.
that is on this varsity squad right now. There'll be some younger kids coming up through the ranks as well. It just has to be exciting about where this started a year ago to where it is today, and just your thoughts on that.
I'm just, I don't know. I don't even really have words to say that can explain from where I thought this team would start and where we're at now. I was excited, obviously, coming in as a first-year high school coach. I mean, I've coached in the summertime, but this is a different environment. It's not the parents anymore. It's not it's a lot on the girls. It's a lot on us as coaches and a lot on teachers here at Sioux Valley. But just blessed to have the support that we have behind us, and we wouldn't be here without everyone along the way, with the parents who have stepped up with the field work and our social media, and you stepping on and helping us out and getting the word out there on softball, and just it's growing across the state, and it's crazy. I never thought that we would be where we are right now when we started 2 years ago.
It's growing across the state, but it's growing here as well. And you could see that with the amount of crowd that was here yesterday. Yes, some Lennox Orioles on this side of things, but they was lined up all the way down to the street out there.
I know, and the people that
Chairs
are messaging
everywhere.
us after the games, I mean, people cheering us on from Sioux Falls, people up in Watertown, my hometown, cheering us on, and my own parents coming to the games and cheering us on. And I've always coached with my dad, so when he came, I noticed that he was at the game yesterday. I didn't even notice until at the end of the game that he was here, but I was like, for people to know like where I've come from and where Chris has come from as past players, and being able to bring our families to see what we're doing as coaches is like beyond us. And it makes me so grateful for the backgrounds that we both have to be able to share with these girls and to help them build their futures.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun yesterday. Do you want to show off the trophy?
I was just carrying it through the hall, and I saw Jill Vincent, and I said, Tim Holter thought I was carrying my computer, and I said, "Oh no, I'm not carrying my computer."
This is
goes,
our hardware.
"Why are you carrying that?" And I said, "Well, I was jealous of Jill, so I had to carry it around to show her."
Nice.
But no, it's fun though, because this is gonna be my first state as a head coach.
Yeah.
But I also got to experience the volleyball as assistant coach and learn. And Jill has been a great mentor in the sense of coaching. And I mean, you have some amazing coaches. You have some amazing coaches here at Sioux Valley, and with Bill and Don and
Jamie Granham, another one. Yeah, we're gonna get a new football coach this year, but he's gonna be fantastic
too. It's gonna be awesome, and it's just it proves that small towns like this, they thrive on that. And so having them be good mentors and kind of pave the way for new upcoming coaches like myself, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better person to be under in volleyball and to help me kind of figure my life out as a coach. And a parent. I feel like Jill too, not only has she helped me along the way with coaching and kind of led that way, but I mean, now I have 2 young ones of my own, and she was coaching at the same time when she had 3 kids, and her kids turned out great. And I mean, they're all coaches now too. Tate and Mikan, I mean, they're all so successful in their own lives, and I'm sure Talia will be just along there too.
She'll be a coach at some point down the road.
It's wild that she's going to be a senior. We can't talk about that one though, because that's going to be a reality check, I think, for some of us that we've got to see. I've gotten to see these girls since they were freshmen, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, congrats on the win yesterday. We're doing a practice here at some point.
Yes. So I'm guessing you're probably inside waiting or wondering where I'm at. So if I run in now, I'll go grab them and I'll have a couple cents.
Yeah, have them stop on by. I'll keep yapping about the stupid Twins, the stupid Timberwolves.
My grandma loves the Twins, and she's been babbling about them for weeks.
I love them too, but
I don't keep up with it as much as I probably could. But she's always about the Twins. So they were doing better.
Yeah,
they were.
They are. They're coming around.
So,
I think they split the first 2 in Tampa. They should be done with the afternoon game by now in Tampa, and then they got to go to Seattle for the weekend. So
what a travel! That'd be so fun. I would love to.
Yeah, be on a charter flight and just be a professional athlete. Yeah, I can handle that. Yeah,
why not?
If anyone's listening,
sign me up.
You're looking at an announcer and a coach right here.
I was just telling the girls, last night, my hands were so tingly, and I was like, I already have high blood pressure, and you guys are just making it worse. And I said, I've never had my hands tingle like this before, except for when I was playing myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, so something is happening, and then at the end of the game, it just all goes away. You don't even think about it. This morning, I woke up, and I was like, whoop, that was a bit of a stressor on your. I'm not old, but like
Well, I'm old.
it has a lot. It does a lot to you when you're constantly up and down and screaming and yelling. I'm surprised I have a voice today. So
I was still on cloud nine
yeah,
this morning
I still
as
am. I'm
you
gonna ride
know
it for a whole week.
my father is in Flanders at the nursing home down there,
Yeah.
so I was pointing out on YouTube on his little pad that he
Hmm.
has. This is how you do it. You just got to punch this, punch this,
Yeah.
punch this, and he couldn't get it to work. And there was some sort of ad on there. He couldn't get it off. So I was still on cloud nine, and I had my iPad with me, so
Yeah.
I brought that along, and I let him listen to the last few at bats of the
Yeah.
bottom of the seventh. Just this
Yeah.
smile on his face.
Oh yeah.
He's not from Sioux Valley at all.
I
He's an
think I've
Elkton kid, a Lake
rewatched.
Benton kid.
I think I've rewatched the end of the game probably 4 times now, and I've almost cried every single time.
Well,
I
keep
think,
watching it. Yeah.
I'm gonna. And I learned, I think, after the Big East when when the sound and stuff was off, and we were trying to figure out the ending and seeing the celebration and everything, figured out how to screen record. So I'm pretty good at that now.
Nice.
So
Good
got
job
all of
on
those
that.
memories in there. So
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. Well, I'll
Congrats
go.
again.
I'll
Yeah.
head in and see if some of these girls are ready to head out, and
Go get them.
we'll
I'll
chatting
hang
with you.
here and keep yapping away. Tell them to play
Okay.
the music loud when we get out here,
Okay.
and we'll do softball the right way.
We're pretty good at that. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Coach. I'll take those from you. There we go. The head coach, Tatum Sonnenberg, after the historic victory yesterday in the Sodex 16, an amazing day, an amazing squad, an amazing team, amazing families, amazing Cossack crazies all around this field yesterday. What an experience. And, she left it here. So I'm going to hold this up. This is the state qualifier Class A Girls Softball 2025. This is your Sodex 16 Championship trophy. That's what it looks like. On the girls' side of things this year, oh my gosh, that's what you get one of those in volleyball, you get one of those in basketball, you get one of those in softball. I don't know. Golf doesn't have one. So that is the third Sodax 16 state qualifier trophy that the girls' side of Sioux Valley Athletics has gotten this year. The boys go to the Dakota Dome, become runner-up in 11B football. Basketball team goes all the way to region final, ran into Hamlin, who ended up as the state runner-up in their state tournament. So, yeah, it doesn't go to state, but that's still an incredible finish for the boys basketball team. Then you've got cross country that goes to state on the girls' side and the boys' side for that matter. You've got the baseball team that did they bring home a state qualifier Sodex 16 thing? I don't know if baseball does that, but they do qualify for state. One of the last 8 teams playing in that tournament. The girls golf team, which will play Monday and Tuesday, the Madison Country Club, that's in state. And then we've got the track and field athletes at the same time. This 2024-25 campaign for the student athletes of Sioux Valley High School, I don't know what else to say. If you played sports on a girls team at Sioux Valley this year, you went to a state tournament, and that is incredible. There are numerous kids who go to school and never get that opportunity, me included. Farthest we got in basketball was district play back when districts were a thing. We went 6-2 in my senior year in high school, and still were not good enough to get to the 9-man playoffs. Different versions, different time, different eras. That's a long time ago, but there's so many kids that never get opportunities like this, and Sioux Valley is going above and beyond this year with their student athletes. An incredible athletic season for these Cossacks. Bill Vincent's nailed it. We are Cossack crazies, and I'm including myself. You have turned me into a Cossack crazy easily. This started on the sidelines for me. I was a photographer and still am. Photographer on the sidelines of some of the great basketball teams, some of the great volleyball teams. I was on the side of football games at that time, track and field. I started to pay attention to Sioux Valley a lot, and that was thanks to Noah Cash Clare, who was on the radio station at that time. So it was just one thing led to another, and then it just started, showing up to more things, along with my hometown of Elkton and the Elkton Lake Benton Elks over there, of snapping things on the sidelines there. Noah Clare leaves the radio station to come to Sioux Valley and be a student teacher or a teacher's assistant, whatever his title is. So that opened up the job at the Brookings radio station, and included in that job is to be the play-by-play guy of the Sioux Valley Athletics. So I get to do that for 1 year. Then madness happens. A year ago, the parent company of Brookings Radio, Alpha Media, gets rid of all the local programmers, myself included, and I didn't want to give this up. I just happened to start Saul's Media in October of last fall and get to be a firsthand witness to all of this. The volleyball team at state, the two basketball squads going as far as they did. Now we add softball to this with a golf team, a baseball team, the track and field squad, cross country football. It's amazing. I can't. I don't have any more words to have me speechless about how this season has gone from the fall to the spring. Absolutely incredible. I was telling my parents this morning that I will never, ever forget that trip out to Spearfish for that Class A tournament out there. That will be a memory that I will have forever. And just an incredible experience out there. So I thank all of the Sioux Valley, administrators that allow me to do this, to allow me to come to the sidelines like this and be at the top of the bleachers and be a part of it, even though the small part that I am. Thanks for letting me tag along. Thanks for letting me ride along. Thanks for letting me be a fan and be a fan in a different way of how I'm doing this. The coaches that have always been more than willing to have conversations, these athletes that we're going to have 3 more come up on microphones right now. Thank you, Cossack Crazies, man. I have found a new home, and we'll keep doing this. Absolutely incredible. A state tournament next week up in Aberdeen. I see Cam Eaker making it to the squad here, the Cotton Field. A little breezier than what we were doing yesterday, but Cam Eaker is probably going to get on a microphone here. We're probably going to have some teammates of ours come up here at some point. I just had a fun conversation with your head coach. That was cool. How you doing? How you feeling today? Okay. Well, let's give you a microphone. You can tell me all about it. Speaker Eaker.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to give you some volume here, so let me do that. Can you hear me at all over there?
Yes, I can.
You're only in one ear. That's just kind of the setup we're doing, but that's going to have to work. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How
Good.
are you doing today?
Good.
Tired. 16 winners. You were doing some sort of post-game show at what, the Depot or something? Is that where supper was
Yes.
last night?
Yep, we went out for a team supper
Nice.
to celebrate.
That was good too?
Yeah.
All right. What'd you have?
I had a lot of us had wraps.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, those are good.
Yeah, they are.
We can do
Yeah,
Your trophy's right over there.
I know.
I saw all the pictures. That was fun. I saw the celebration, obviously, atop the
Yep.
bleachers yesterday. Where's your head at today? You kind of calm yourself down, get a night's sleep in, maybe. Where are you at today? Where's your head today on what happened here yesterday?
I'm just extremely proud of my teammates and
Yeah.
myself. I think we really deserve this. And I was looking at our rankings in the state tournament now and seeing that we're 5, and I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, guys, this is pretty awesome. And I think now that we're going up against Cell Rapids, I think we can play anybody. We can.
Why not? Should be the new
Yeah.
mentality, right?
Yes.
Why not us? Why
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
We're guaranteed 3 more games. Let's just
Yeah.
play it our all. And I know that these next couple practices might be long, and I know these next couple practices will be not so draining, but I know that we'll have to really lock in on the.
You got to dig in a little
stuff.
bit now. Yeah. We get to a state tournament, but
Yeah.
it's 3 games of opportunity if
Yeah.
you look at it that way. And it's Del Rapids first and see
Yeah.
what happens from there.
Mhm.
Some good teams at
Yes.
this state tournament. Now we're getting used to that now.
Yes.
This is your 3rd state tournament
Yep.
of your junior year with the volleyball squad. You were helping on the basketball team as
Mhm.
well. Now you get your softball team.
Yeah.
You're used to seeing good teams at this time of the year. Is
Yes.
there any advice you can give anyone that
Well, I just
is out there on the team with you?
everything I thought about when I was going into state tournaments was really just go in and give it your all.
Yeah.
Even though it might not be your outcome that you're expecting, uh, going in with it with a good attitude and having a big mental space and being able to push through the ups and downs, that really, really helps you in the long run.
Yeah.
And even just battling back from any mistakes that you do make personally in the game,
Right.
I think that's a big deal that really, I mean, for volleyball, I did that too. I'd make a mistake and then I'd just get all upset and then I just had to bounce back and always just make memories.
Yeah.
All my state tournaments I've had, those are my biggest memories that I've ever made in high school. And I'm just glad I get to have another one this year. I'm really excited.
I went through as you were walking up. I was going through the list of things that have gone on in the 2024-25 year of Sioux Valley athletics, and it's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You probably went down to Vermilion with the football team and watched that.
Yep.
The cross country team goes to state. You're on the volleyball squad who go down to Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
You were part of the basketball squad. We head all the way out to Spearfish, a
Mhm.
trip that I will never ever forget. By the way, Spearfish, in my heart forever. Now it's a softball team that you have. There's a golf team that's playing on Monday, Tuesday. They just played Madison yesterday, a reschedule, so they got the preview of that course.
Yeah.
They'll do that on Monday and Tuesday. Baseball ends their season on Monday with a loss in the first round of their state tournament. You've
crazy.
got other friends in the junior class that have been in this tournament and this tournament and this tournament. What is that like to walk through the hallways and go state tournament there, state tournament there, state tournament? How do you do that?
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy to think that like every female athletic in Sioux Valley has made it to a state tournament.
Yes.
And I think that's very impressive for Sioux Valley. And not only my classmates going to all these state tournaments, but also my brother as well.
Yeah.
He's been in a bunch of those as well with golf, baseball, all that stuff. But like just walking in the hallways, just seeing like all the people like, oh, you've been to a state tournament. Yeah.
Yes, we were in Sioux Falls together. Yes, we were in Spearfish together. Yes. Now we're being in Aberdeen.
Other schools like talking like, you guys are so lucky to go to all these state tournaments and stuff. And I just think in the back of my head, it's the work that you put in behind it. It's just
Well, there's more work to do now. 3 more games to go.
Yes. Sioux Valley's a lucky school, and I love it. So I've been here since I was born. So
that's kind of what I just said as you were walking up. I mean, I've only been doing things like this for the last couple of seasons, but it's been unbelievable. What a year to start this.
I know.
Just amazing. I can't thank Bill Vincent enough for talking me into being the play-by-play guy on volleyball sideline because that's what started it. Just amazing. So a junior coming to a close next weekend for you. That's the last thing Sioux Valley has is your softball tournament, and then junior is done. Any plans through the summer? I mean, senior year on the horizon. Is there a job you go to? What do you do through the summertime to prepare for senior year?
Well, mainly my summer is filled with our volleyball camps.
Okay.
Since volleyball kind of starts right at the beginning of the school year the next year.
Yeah.
So I'll just start a bunch of volleyball camps coming up with our Sioux Valley team. I will be watching kiddos, like just messing around, doing some fun stuff this summer.
Okay.
But mainly, I'm just gonna keep playing the sports I love and hanging out with the people that I love. And
is there something you love to do in the summertime? Going to a lake, getting on a pontoon, just the pool over there. Do you hike? Are you a photographer like myself? I go out and find birds all the time.
Well, my family does have a boat, so usually we go out boating or fishing. Also, another thing, I like to just hang out with my classmates in my grade.
Okay.
Have like little bonfires out at people's houses. One of our friends has a pool.
Yeah.
Go have like pool parties. Our bunch of our friends have lake houses, so I think just like hanging out with our classmates and really getting close, since we know the time is coming to an end. I think that's our big goal this year as like a friend group.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
You said fish as well. Do you fish?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught? What was it?
Honestly, couldn't tell you, but my brother and my dad, they have some magic, but
they can catch them all apparently.
Yeah.
It's ironic that you said fishing because I was listening to my radio show out of Minneapolis, the podcast version of it. They were talking about a 14-year-old that on his way to school stopped by the river that he has to cross every day to get to school, and he decided to go fishing before school, and then he caught a 68-pound catfish.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
any 68-pound catfish in your catch history?
No.
Well, that's sad, really. Darn.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, you're just a junior high school. There's plenty of time for you to fish. Do you
Yeah.
golf at all as well? Have you ever tried golf?
Yeah, I did golf in middle school,
Okay.
and I actually was pretty dang good. I got first at every tournament, but
Nice.
I just thought softball's more of my deal. So
You enjoy it more.
yeah,
That's okay.
but I mean, we have like a golf subscription out there, and we have our own golf cart and stuff. So I'll go out with my family every once in a while, or with my brother, and just hang out there.
One of your close friends who's graduating is in that state tournament on Monday and Tuesday. Kara Cruz, our
Yes.
6-foot point guard.
Yes.
Are you going to go down to Madison? You get a chance to go down there and cheer him on, or
We'll have to see what softball practice if
Yeah.
they're still going. We'll have to see what softball practice brings out, and
there's their times on Monday, so it's anywhere from 8:50 to 9:30 when they go off on Monday morning. Tuesday might be different, maybe depending on how they finish or where they finish, but
yeah. Well, actually, I think next
9-ish Monday morning they all go off.
Yeah. Well, next week I think we're doing practices in the morning, and then
Okay. Well,
get ready to organize stuff for state tournament.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Really
Your family's got to be excited too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got their hotel rooms. They're all planning on
Well,
being there.
actually, my brother is playing baseball this weekend, so my dad and my brother won't go.
Okay.
But my mom will be out there. So.
Okay.
But my brother, our family's always busy with something. So.
We'll get everyone we can to Aberdeen, and if
Yes.
they can't, they can watch it on Saul's Media.
Yes.
I sent that email off today. I should get an answer on that, and I just think that we'll do the same thing we did in Spearfish.
Yeah.
I'll just be at the top of the bleachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Call it the way we do. When I saw the Elkton kids last year, the only video I saw was just a game changer. So they just had a camera that was on the backstop, but there wasn't anything with it.
Yeah,
So you just
voice,
saw.
Yeah.
I don't even think there was really a scoreboard. You just saw people running around and going in and out of the dugouts. There wasn't much to it. So me doing what I do, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. So we'll see how that email comes back.
I bet they'll lie. They
I'm
usually do.
so.
I'm just really excited.
I'm excited too. I was thinking about the last time I was in Aberdeen, and I don't get to Aberdeen much because I don't have any family up there. I don't have friends that live up there, or married couples. Or I think the last time I was in Aberdeen, my son was playing football for the Brookings Bobcats, and that would have been 2013. So it's been 12 years since I've been to Aberdeen.
I'm guessing I've been up there, but I don't remember when that would have been. But I'm excited. I heard a lot of people say that Northern University, that facility is really nice. So
Northern State up there. Yeah.
I heard all the fields are turf, and I heard all this stuff, and I know it'll be nice and a good experience for all of us, and even just the hotel, like just hanging out with our teammates.
So since we don't remember Aberdeen from anything in our past, let's just create a new memory and do it that way. We'll do it that way.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll remember Aberdeen forever by what we do in that tournament.
Yes.
All right, Cam. I don't see any of your teammates. Where are your teammates at? A couple of soccer players over there.
But, I have no clue. Tatum said that she's gonna send someone out once they get in there, but it should be probably McKinley. I'm guessing. I'm usually first, and then or Cassidy. But I'm really looking forward to this coming week, just spending time with my teammates and then our seniors for the last time. And I'm very happy for the seniors also getting to end their time on this, having extra games than they were scheduled to, and I know that they are gonna love it.
We'll celebrate them next Saturday.
Yes.
That'll be day 3 of the weekend.
Yes.
We'll celebrate those two on Saturday, and just the impact that those two are leaving, the legacy they're leaving.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, both of them are a huge impact on our team, and I think
Vanna had the 2-run shot right up there.
Yep.
It was a little bit longer than your home run, just a little.
Shoot. Well, and I'm just thinking, like, got this fence out here today. Last time taking it down for years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good thing because that thing would give him the butt to roll up and put away. But I'm just glad that
just part of the game.
I'm just glad we could have a home game to end on.
Yeah.
And get somewhere that was our end goal, was state, and now our end goal is just making these memories out at state, playing our hardest, hoping for the outcome that we wish for.
Yeah.
But if not, we bounce back and we battle back from it. And next year we play the same thing.
Do it all over.
Yep. Let's do it again.
It's going to be fun.
I know.
Cam, thanks for the visit. I will let you go. You've got a speaker to hook up and things to do.
Yeah.
Someone's walking up, so we'll get someone over here on the microphone as well. But
That is Cassidy.
Congrats on the win yesterday.
Thank you so
SEDEX
much.
16 champs. We're going to another state tournament.
Yes, let's
Thursday
go.
at noon. Next week, we'll do it.
Yes. Thank you.
I'll take those from you. Cam Eaker joining the show. Always fun. A historic day yesterday as the Sioux Valley Cossacks become SODEX 16 champions. I'm getting a text here. Big deal there. So as we look at the cotton field here, freshly drug out there for our girls, it's a 4 o'clock practice today. Then, they probably go up to Aberdeen Wednesday next week, I would imagine. Yeah. Hi there. It's a state qualifier. So much fun. Cassie, you coming on? We'll give Cassidy Smith. Now, you have officially been the MVP 2 times in a row now. You were the Big East Conference Tournament MVP, and then I gave it to you yesterday for the game-winning hit.
Yes.
So, congrats on that.
Yes.
I asked Cam this same question. So it's a lot of celebration last night. Maybe not so much sleep, kind of the excitement that goes with it. How are you feeling today? How was your morning today?
I feel great. I had a mellow morning just with my brother today. Both my parents working, but no, last night was a lot of fun. We went out to dinner as a team.
Yeah.
It was great. It was so much fun. A lot of laughter, a lot of excitement. Just
And that's what it should be.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
How's it feel? Every female that played sports for Sioux Valley this year went to a state tournament. How's it feel for you?
It's just insane. I got to travel with the volleyball team this year, which was
Yeah.
super duper fun, and I loved it. Just being able to say that, I think that all your girls' sports made it as a school, I think is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I was joking with Cam. It's like, yep, you went to a state tournament. You're just walking down the hallways of the school. You went to a state tournament. You went to a state tournament. Now I'm doing it. That's what we do.
Yeah.
This is what Cossack Crazies do. We go to state tournaments.
And I think it keeps people involved in things and wanting to go out and just being able to do sports and stuff, which I think is
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit yesterday of what you were looking at in that at bat you had at the bottom of the 7th, tied at 11. We had Abby Axtell on second. All you had to do is get a hit and get her around, and then you did it.
I've had that. I went back and I watched the show back, and I listened to you. I've been watching that clip. I've been listening to you when you jumped up and started screaming. Yeah,
hysterical, really.
Yes,
probably too much.
Going back and listening to that was a lot of fun. I got my cousin got a video. She was over down on the third baseline, and you can see my mom. She just like was running around and jumping. When I was in the batter's box, I kind of looked over there because my dad, he does a lot. Both my parents do a lot for me.
Yeah.
My dad helps me a lot. He's a good baseball player, but
okay.
I could see my mom, and she had her hood up, like she was just like hands on her knees, like she was behind everybody else, like she wasn't in the front. And I could tell that she was definitely thinking about it. My dad was hands on him, like yeah, it was crazy. And talking to them after, it was great.
There was a huge crowd here yesterday for the game. Cam and I talked about it, Tatum and I talked about it. There was chairs all the way down to the street.
Yes.
They were all the way out past the outfield fence out there.
Being able to see people come up and show up for us like that, especially our second year having a team, just being a new program, having people coming out and supporting us like that, it feels great. We were talking about it. We were just like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people here, and I'm really happy with the turnout that we had.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Cossack Crazies out in full force, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, they support everything, so why not? I mean, a home game like we had yesterday, the weather wasn't that terrible.
No,
a couple of sprinkles was all. We got through that. I don't know what the weather is in Aberdeen next week. I think it's too early to tell. It sounds like it's going to be warm.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Like 80s warm, like summertime warm. I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure. The weather yesterday was perfect. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was really great. I mean, it sprinkled there for a little bit, but other than that, it wasn't bad.
There was just enough wind blowing straight out.
Yeah.
3 home runs yesterday.
Yeah, that just crazy looking back on that. And
Abby gets one.
Yeah. Did Cameron hit hers before?
I think Cam got hers in the third inning, and then it was Vanna with the 2-run shot to tie it in the bottom of the 7th.
Cameron hitting that home run, I think, definitely had a mood change for our team. It brought up the energy just so much. Like when she did that, the dugout and the energy completely flipped. I don't know if my parents said that they could tell, like just the flip that we had after that. Everybody was like, okay, like yeah. No, it was great. Just being able to step up and do that, it is great.
I think my hystericalness on the mic went up at that moment.
Yeah,
as well, so
probably.
Maybe it did. Maybe that's what it was. Look, she's a spark plug and everything else she does.
Yes,
so
she
is the musical leader. She's the inspirational leader with all the words, all the volume. She can sing. She can dance. Cam does it all, and now she's hitting home runs too. So
her and Ella have definitely been positive lights on this team. Ella is super positive. You can always hear her center field. Having her as a senior this year has definitely been amazing. She most definitely next year. Her voice has just been so positive all year. She's super loud. She's always talking and just pulling us up. Like I think
she's being a leader.
Yeah, after the first inning, she came in and she was like, "All right, guys, we got this. We can do this. We can do this." She's always just lifting us up, definitely.
Well, that's what a senior's supposed to do. They're supposed to be this leadership thing they have, this mentorship they have. I feel like the two that you have are fitting that bill pretty well.
Both of them are amazing. They've been great all year.
We will celebrate those two next Saturday, day 3 of our state tournament. But we do get a state tournament. Cam and I were talking about, when's the last time you've been in Aberdeen? Anything that you had going on up there? Have you ever been to Aberdeen?
Yes, I have. I think the last time I was up there was for my brother's wrestling.
Okay. Has it been a couple years then, or is that recent?
I think it's been a couple years.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I just told Cam. Since it's been a while and we're having a hard time remembering the last time in Aberdeen, we'll make our own memories then and create it on the field.
Yeah, me and Abby, we were talking about it, just talking about like getting decorations for our hotel rooms and just like getting stuff just to.
Well, the good thing is you already have glitter.
Yes.
And is all the glitter out?
Yes,
You were
it did. I was able to get it all.
You were worried about that yesterday.
Yes. I was able to get it all out of my hair. I mean, I saw there's a little couple stragglers in my hair this morning.
Okay.
But it definitely wasn't as bad as I thought. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was.
Well, good.
Yeah.
We'll glitter up when we get to Aberdeen then.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe Cam wanted to glitter my beard. I'm not sure if we're going to do that.
Oh, that'd be great. I think we should do it.
Maybe that'll be day 3. We'll save that for last.
For sure. Yeah, we get Del Rapids first round. Got a 4 and a 5.
Yeah, yep.
Great.
We'll be at noon next Thursday,
Yes.
game number 1. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
But congrats on the Sodak 16.
Thank you.
Now you get to practice today.
Yes.
A couple of teammates have joined the other dugout over there now.
Yes, it is a good day for practice. It's really nice up there.
It is nice.
Yes.
A little more breezy than what it was yesterday, but the temperature's fantastic.
This morning it wasn't this windy. Oh, I'm gonna grab a sweatshirt. It got windy.
Well, Cassidy, congrats. I'll let you get over to your dugout over
Thank
there
you.
and get yourself ready for practice,
Yeah.
but we'll see you in Aberdeen next week.
Thank you so much.
Cassidy Smith joining the show. Another star from the matchup yesterday. We could keep going through it, but I think we'll hang it up for a coach's show on a Wednesday as practice behind me is about ready to get rolling. This is the first time with an amp, and hopefully it worked. I feel like it did, and if not, we'll just do it again tomorrow. I mean, why not? That's going to do it for a coach's show on a Wednesday, the Sodak 16 version of a coach's show. Congrats to every Cossack team out there, especially this softball team as they punch their ticket. Going as the 5 seed to the Class A state tournament next Thursday at noon against the Del Rapids Couriers. So that is going to do it for Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for following along. I forgot to go through sponsors today. Bankstar Financial, our exclusive presenter. Thank you to Bell Brands. Thank you to CC's Bar and Grill, GP Auto, Health Source Chiropractic, Precision Risk Management, Shorty's Hotbox Food Truck, and other fantastic sponsors. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, player of the game through basketball and volleyball. Back Alley Meats, Buster's Auto Brokers, Nick's Hamburgers, Jimmy John's sponsoring player of the game through the softball season here, as we'll have 3 more gift certificates as we go to Aberdeen. The Man Cave Barbershop, Midland Contracting, and Great Plains Ear and Hearing, all of our sponsors through this softball season. The athletics all over the board. Thank you, Cossack Crazies, for allowing me to ride along with all of this, to be a part of it. A small part, but a part of it, and I'll take any part I can get. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you, Cossacks, for watching, for following along, and we've got 3 more softball games starting Thursday next week. We'll see you in Aberdeen.